Goodbye.
Well, I'm really gonna make them mad right now. I am a quarter native Lakota Sioux Indian, and I'm doubling down on it. I think Chris Proudfoot looks like a toad. I think he's an ugly human being for what he did to Sebastian, even whipping him with the belt, and I stand by that. So that's really gonna rile him up.
With your little creator friends trying to give them clout. Because
Seth,
come
I'll
the
give
fuck
you
on now. That's
Seth,
all
I'll
the fuck
give you $1,000, Seth.
Cold hard
If you
cash.
bring your fat ass out here and climb with us. How about that?
One day for $1,000, you fat tub of shit. Come on.
Hey,
And I mean, you ain't got nothing on me, so I don't know what you're gonna do.
I've been saying that too, though. Like, it doesn't. It's not a matter if Proudfoot's guilty or innocent. It's a matter of what they've done to that little boy, admittedly done to that little boy. And that's been all of our points of contention.
Yes.
So
Believe it at this point.
I didn't believe it from the beginning.
Okay.
But
okay,
this is speculation because I don't have 100% clarity. I didn't listen to the recording. The father was waiting to hear from me. He wanted me to call, so I did. And we discussed, and I just told him some things I remembered. And I really felt like he's in no place to hear anything bad. Like,
right.
Your son is deceased. I believe your son is deceased, like that. He's not in that kind of mindset. He really wants to find him alive. I mean, this is a man who literally lived in San Diego, California. He was married to this woman. And what he told me was multiple occasions while he was sleeping, this woman would drink. She had severe mood swings. And even before he said that, I asked if she was bipolar because I was just getting, these vibes. And he said that she's never been diagnosed with that, but her sister has. So if it does run in families, and he was saying she does have severe mood swings, and that he had been like fully sleeping on multiple occasions where she actually attacked him, according to Seth. And yeah, so that she did have a history of violence as well. So the stepfather, it sounds like from the chatter, has a history of violence. And according to the bio dad, the stepmother also has a history of violence. And he said that while they were married, she really couldn't deal with Sebastian very well. Now, remember, everything I'm saying is from his perspective, and that's what he's saying, but that she couldn't really deal with the extra complexities of having an autistic child.
Okay.
Because you are doing a lot of giving, and anytime you have a disabled child, it's more work. You spend more time, and they have special needs. That's why they're called special needs, right? Yeah. And so, according to the stepfather, she also would drink to excess to the point where, like, she urinate right in their bedroom. He said, like, literally get that wasted and be very violent when she was that wasted.
Wow.
So,
yes, families can be victims too. I understand that. But if they're truly innocent and not a victim, they're not going to lie, change their story. And if they were good people and loved that child in the first place, they wouldn't have treated him so horribly. So I am sorry, when it comes to Sebastian especially, he has been victimized all his life and then re-victimized over and over again. And now he is missing under suspicious circumstances. And I'm going to be his voice if I can be.
Yep. And if we want to go live about him, Amelia,
continue our relationship if it wasn't for, if she didn't get rid of the cats. And so she got rid of the cats. And Sebastian never let me live that down. There was no compromise. There was nothing. It was, if you want this, well, this is the way it's going to be. he said what he said, and he meant what he meant. And Katie just bowed to her knees and let everything go. She's just as bad, in my opinion. I actually, Ginger, I think worse. I think worse. She's a mother. She's a mother. Right. Some step parents are the best. They're way better than even, their biological. They step up and just like their own. Hey, Nicholas, can't find the membership option. Mods, thank you, honey. Appreciate you. Can y'all drop the membership? Appreciate you, my dear. 50% of her DNA is made up of Sebastian. This is someone before any man and should be long afterward too. Although I think it happened, in my opinion, because of one person. I think the other one allowed and failed him miserably. Now, as parents,
I don't know. I may be wrong, but I do feel like something happened. A child does not disappear.
Right.
Well,
You know?
I was thinking about it today or last night, and I talked it over with somebody, and I'm like, listen. And then I brought it into Peter Heights today, and he said the same thing.
Yeah.
But listen, what if the mom and stepdad got into a fight? He is controlling. We know you don't have to. We don't have to know them to know that.
Right.
There is things in his past. He's been married 5 times. He's 40
Oh my
years old.
gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's 40. He's 40
He's 40.
too.
And it's already come out about he's putting stuff on his Facebook last night about divorce and love, and you got a missing kid in your home, son. And
Right.
all these things. But anyway.
What did he put on his Facebook? What?
He's got these videos about all that, like putting on there about this love thing, and it has talks about divorce in it, and man jumping on the other car, and just stupid stuff.
Oh my gosh.
What about his stepson?
Thank you.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah,
Well, the parents didn't even go to the vigil last night.
Nope. 2 minutes down the road. They could have walked to it.
Yes.
The real dad come all the way about an hour.
The dad drove an hour to get there to the vigil, the real dad.
Yeah.
But mom and stepdad didn't show up.
Mm-mm. She sent
because he said no.
Little note.
Yeah.
He did.
See, they were going to do it.
Oh, I'm just.
It sounds like it.
They were going to.
I couldn't imagine. But a lot of these step parents that want to marry into a family with a special needs child. I mean, he's part of the deal. I mean,
yeah,
and so if he lost his temper and did something awful, it's just like, why would you think that I'm guessing that there's just going to be all kinds of stuff coming out about this guy.
Yeah.
I think that there already has been some stuff, and he's like asking for the records to be sealed. I was like,
yeah. See, why is he asking for the records to be sealed?
if it doesn't have anything to do with it, it's probably some charge. I don't know what.
Yeah, I think he has a DV charge in New Mexico.
It wouldn't shock me.
And I think he's been in quite a long battle with that ex-wife for for that. And there's
Number
also
4.
well, I don't even know what number she is,
Right,
but
between 2 and 4, probably.
yeah, probably. And I didn't dig that deep, but I know that I
Ridiculous.
know, God, they kill me with this math stuff because it's like I can't keep up with what they're doing,
Who gets
But
married 5 times? Like after the third time, like you're like third time, all right, I'm 40 and this isn't working. But to go on to it, he must just walk around pissing people off.
yeah. Well, here's the thing too. I would like to know.
1 out of 5. Come on.
Yeah. And so I'm really intrigued about this phone call. Who in the heck wants to stay on their phone with the 3 hour, or what was it, 9, 10, 11, 12, 3 hours and something with their wife or husband or whoever, boyfriend, girlfriend, when they're at work? I'd be so glad for them to get out of the house. So I
Was
could
he at, but that's the thing. This is what I'm confused about. Where was he like the night of? Because he said at one point he got up and went to work, right? So was he at home? Why would he be on the phone with her from 9 to 12?
See,
that's what I was asking. Was he there before? Like, do they know for sure when the boy went missing? Because it seems to me like something's off with this timeline
See,
too.
I think he messed himself up because I heard him say he was gone that weekend and he was at work. And see, I think he messed it up himself when he said, I got up and went to work. We were on the phone these hours. I think she brought it up, if I'm not mistaken. And then he said, well, let's get specific about what time we were on the phone. So I think all that, and it's just turned into a criminal right after that. It really did. So I don't think it did him any good.
Anybody that wears a shamrock hat on an interview is
Yeah.
suspicious to me. I'll tell you that right now. It doesn't. People, like kids don't just walk away. They don't vanish. A lot of this sounds just like the Summer Wells case.
Yes. Sometimes you sit back and you wonder, do these people, if they premeditate, if they watch some of this stuff and go by, they said Don even helped in the Boswell case, or, not help, but search or whatever. I don't know how true that is.
Jesus.
But, it's
I
not,
hope.
it's all very odd to me, Josh.
Well, it's completely suspicious, and I would be shocked if it didn't turn around and point at somebody in that house. I mean, you could see the dad or the stepdad. He's like, all 3 of us were just really a tight unit, and he's like, shut up, dude. Whatever.
Yeah, and then when the dad got on there, he acted like he didn't even know nothing they were talking about. Like,
no, they probably thinks they're both. I can tell that he doesn't like the stepdad. I'm not. I don't know anything about the mom, and I don't want to speculate. But the stepdad's been married 5 times.
Yes,
that's insane.
He's what, 40 or something?
Yeah, he's like 40 years old.
Yeah, God.
Oh my God.
So he obviously doesn't get along with people very well.
Yeah. The first thing you see when you
Great
go
point.
to Facebook is a hookup site. It's like weird.
Yeah, he's a weirdo. He really is.
So, are they sure that he went missing the day he went missing? Was the stepdad there before?
Well, he doesn't say. He doesn't really say when he's there. He just says that he left for work. And when they talk about they went to Costco and they had a good day and all this stuff, there's no mention of him. And then when he's asked about it on the interview, why are they looking at previous days? He's like, we're not privy to that. And I would, you just have to ask them. But when they're going back the day before, they're looking at he
in particular was important to me. And so there's some factors that I was just, picking up about Nina and what she was saying. And to look at, is this family capable of actually murdering Sebastian? And I'm not accusing them of that. I'm just saying, are they capable? Okay, they're violent, they're vindictive, they're manipulative, and there was something coming up they wanted to hide. So this is all from other people, not from me. And when you listen to, are they manipulative? They even though the marriage wasn't going to be working, So what? Seth's Chris Proudfoot's mother. What's her name?
Hold on. It's gonna come to me. What is her mom's name? Or his mom's name?
Kathy Bowers.
Robin.
She comes out with her brother. So everything they do shows their whole family works in conjunction on these big plots.
Wait, I said that wrong. Let me, I want to fix what I said. I thought you were asking who Seth's mother is. No, Chris Proudfoot's mother is Kathy. Is that what you're asking?
Kathy Bowers, correct. And her brother, Bryant Guy, the father of, what's the kid's name? What's Bryant Guy's son's name?
What's whose son's
Danny Guy. Danny. Well, that's interesting to note. Okay, so anyways, so Kathy Bowersox comes out to California with her brother, and they lure Nina back to Tennessee, where they promptly take her baby from her, attempt to steal her. Are they a violent family? Well, I don't know. She went over to the family and said, please don't take my baby. And she says that Terry Bowersox, this guy with a fucked up tooth, excuse me, sorry, said he pulled out a baseball bat in front of her 3-year-old and 7-year-old and was going to smash their heads in if they didn't get off his property. So he is extremely violent. Is he violent? His coworker, Terry Bowersox's coworker, says he believes Terry Bowersox is part of this and totally of the personality that would do something like this.
Yep.
Well, I just wanted to let you know that you and your husband and son are going to burn in hellfire and sulfur for the rest of eternity. I just wanted to let you know for killing a little child with a disorder, a sick child. I just wanted you to know you're going to burn in hell, and I will give anything. If I could pick anybody in the world to watch die, it would be you and your husband and your son. It's gonna happen. Turn yourselves in, you evil, evil people.
When he was married to Nina. Fact. I wouldn't consider old Chris Stinkyfoot to be the loyal type, okay? At all. I mean, what is she, like his 6th marriage? Really? And that's all. Okay, hang on. On StreamYard wants to know if I want to download Chinese. I'll tell you what. Not today, Satin. Not. Katie Proudpuss. She is the boss. She is in control. The reason she didn't fight with Chris Proudfeets is because she agrees with this type of extreme punishment. No way would there be all of those CPS reports and her having a shit fit with the teacher and blaming everything on Seth. When Sebastian's under her roof, okay? Sebastian's under her roof. She agrees with that punishment. I can't remember. I think it was Vannacat that said it in our last chat about Sebastian, that Katie and Chris have what is called a toxic codependency. Think about it. A toxic codependency. Uh-oh. Jiggy. No, and I'm sure by now Seth has learned to filter those calls because he needs to keep his line open in case somebody relevant to the case, as in law enforcement or Moonpie Face, Katie, call him. He doesn't be talking to every Tom, Dick, and Harry out there.
There's been a lot of criticism over this investigation. I'm
sure. Mom ended up who did that video of him at the truck. Yeah, it was that day that we were out there with him at that abandoned building or whatever. And I mean, he looks the same. It's just a difference in him wearing like a white shirt and a black one, honestly, in my opinion.
Right. Maybe, but he hadn't lost.
No, not for someone who has told the public. Now, to this point, I could see him not losing any weight, right? Because I don't think he's claiming to be searching all the time. But in the very beginning, he absolutely was. And I didn't see no change in him then. But we also heard Magnolia say what some of us have been saying for months, that his searching was never actually like searching. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was really more, I'm going to rally here at the truck. Y'all tell me if you find something.
Right. That makes sense. It is what it is.
See, I'm not trying to throw shade at the man, and I can't really talk. I'm big as fuck, but I mean, he's big as fuck, right? He looks big as fuck because he's big as fuck.
Well, I don't think anybody's trying to show.
That sounded fair. I was quoting her quote. I was saying the way she said it. BAF. Big. Never mind. I've got my foot in my mouth. I'm not throwing shade. I'm just saying, me and him, we big people. You know what I mean? Own it.
Well, and the thing is like, facts are facts. I mean, he's a big guy. Why is that? You know, people want to get upset for him because somebody might say that, but the truth is, he's a big guy.
No,
right?
I don't think nobody was saying anything, but fiance over here busting out laughing like, damn, bitch, rude. But I'm just trying to say that's how CL had typed it. So, anyway.
Right. Well, I wrote a couple of questions down as I was watching lives today, earlier this morning specifically, and I want to go over it and have you guys help me out with a couple of these answers. First of all, one would probably be, that is the question. That's the question. Did Humpty Dumpty take a great fall? And of course, your next question would probably be, well, who the hell is Humpty Dumpty? So I'm going to open up the comments and y'all tell me who you think Humpty Dumpty is, and if Humpty Dumpty took a great fall. You know what I'm saying? I need to hear from y'all. Who is Humpty Dumpty in this case? Who is Humpty Dumpty? I think I know who Humpty Dumpty is, but do y'all? We got some Seth. We got some BZB. We got some Seth again. Wow. Tony, you think Tony's Humpty Dumpty? Okay. Well, while y'all is deciding that, I'm going to fire up this Blunsky. And y'all can let me know in the chat if you're smoking with me, press a 1. If you're not, press clown of the circus. Hi, Clue.
Hello.
Well, it's not the biggest, but I would say that if you dressed up like a clown, that shit right there, and I'll be down there in a bit. I need to grab me some of this sweet tea, a little bit of shiny shot. I like sunshine tea, like sun-ripened tea. That's how you know you're in the country if you ever had some sun-ripened tea.
Let me tell you some bull I just found out.
What you?
Yeah, I'm paying for it.
Ain't easy. But ain't easy. Just in case anybody needed to hear it.
That's freaking great. Best sound clip ever.
Best sound clip ever.
It's totally appropriate too. Bambolim individual, but I feel like it sounds something like. So who is it?
Who's who? Humpty Dumpty?
Yeah, is it me? Because I fell.
It is Clue. It is Clue. Because she slipped on pee and broke her finger.
You don't have to tell everybody that every time. Like.
Oh. Okay. Well, just saying. Kels, thank you for becoming a new member of the Elevated Truth Podcast. Welcome to the Rooster Squad. Yo. Oh man. Oh man. No, I'm talking about Seth, obviously. You know, I feel like everything's kind of fallen in. I'm not saying that it's because he's guilty of anything, right? It's more because of just the surrounding of everything going on right now, right? That's the biggest problem, right? So for me, it's like everything that goes on around, you know, is kind of where it's all crumbling in on. You know what I mean? That's my opinion anyway.
Say that one more time.
I feel like everything's falling in on him with everything that's around him. You know what I mean? Maybe not even the case per se.
Yeah,
everything that's around him. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
are they though? Because that night that he was on Butterbrains, right? I mean, he had a lot of people coming in there to support him. I do kind of feel like the gig is up on. I'm searching. I'm out here every day. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because how long could you really drag that out for?
I mean, as long, I don't know. I don't know how long you could really carry any of this out if you're not, in fact, you know, I don't know. I'm trying to choose my words correctly because, like, if it is all a big, you know, scheme, right? Then I would think that 6 months in, things would start to fall in. You know what I mean?
Which
is kind of what's happening. Would you agree or no?
No, I do agree with that 100%. Like, I don't feel like there's so obviously on certain channels, right? People absolutely still have the like heart of giving to him, if that makes any sense. But I definitely feel like it's less and less by the day. But I could be wrong.
Well, you know, the way I look at it.
And I mean, you ain't got nothing on me, so I don't know what you're gonna do.
I've been saying that too, though. Like, it's not a matter if Proudfoot's guilty or innocent. It's a matter of what they've done to that little boy, admittedly done to that little boy. And that's been all of our points of contention. So,
yo, Seth Rogers, I heard you like him young. You better not go to cell block number 1. Katie was a teen when you fell in love. Then you had a son. Sebastian go missing and now you play dumb. Now you suspect number 1. Wah, 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 wah. Done, you messed up. Wah, 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 wah. You done messed up. Now you're under fire for messing with a minor. You ain't like me. They ain't like us. They ain't like us. They ain't like us. Da-da-da-da. Yo, Seth Rogers, I heard you like him young. You better not go to cell block number 1. Katie was a teen when you fell in love. Then you had a son. Sebastian go missing and now you play dumb. Now you suspect number 1. Wah, 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 wah. Done, you messed up. Wah, 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 wah. You done messed up. Now you're under fire for messing with a minor. You ain't like me. They ain't like us. They ain't like us. They ain't like us. Da-da-da-da.
Death for fun. You know, there's two things I always say. I don't wish death or jail on people, right? Only jail. Only time I wish jail on people is when they do something horrific, like what's going on in the Sebastian Rogers case. Now, she shouldn't have told that lady she was going to rot in hell. She probably should have told that lady you're going to rot in jail, okay? And then hell. And there's a process. You go to jail before you go to hell. You don't go straight to hell. You go straight to jail, and then afterwards, when you die, you go to hell. Real estate people are phonies, is what the chat says, right? Well, yeah, I mean, if you're gonna pick a real estate person, pick somebody that's trustworthy, you know, family person, you know, that's worried. You know, if you ain't worried about your family, why are you gonna be worried about mine, right? That I get a good deal and get a good home to raise my family in, and you're not even concerned, right? Like I said, you know, she was making posts like, oh, I'm going out on the island day. It's a beautiful day. Look for a house. You know what else is a beautiful day for? To get out there and look for your grandson, okay? Which I don't see a whole lot of people doing. I see some, let me make a quick YouTube video. Jack, Dolly, Mama Bowerstocks was not playing. That was a whole mic drop. I don't suggest anybody go call her phone or do anything like that, right? Be respectful. There's no evidence right now that says she has anything to do with the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. Okay. So with that said, I wouldn't recommend anybody calling her phone. I'm lagging a little bit. Okay. But just deal with it. It'll probably catch up. So, I got the phone call that was made to her voicemail, and we're going to play that in just a second. But, here's the thing about this is she's mad about people calling her phone. But, when her grandson went missing, she went to Alaska, right? She didn't go out looking. She didn't give a damn, right? But she cares if you call her business phone. And then, I seen a post from her the other day where she was going out house hunting on an island. Okay. Because, she's into real estate. And why wasn't she going out Sebastian hunting? That is my question. She has not put not one effort into going to look for her alleged grandson. Because, really, Chris is not the biological father of Sebastian Rogers. So technically, the Bauer feet are not the biological grandparents of Sebastian. And they really don't give two damns.
Zorro.com knows that every job is important. It takes a lot to run a business. And from
okay, she has not put not one effort into going to look for her alleged grandson. Because, really, Chris is not the biological father of Sebastian Rogers. So technically, the Bauer feet are not the biological grandparents of Sebastian. And they really don't give two damns. Okay. They could care less about this child. And they shown that through their actions. When the kid goes missing, they could have postponed their vacation, right? But they didn't, right? They didn't. Bauer feet. Yeah, that's what I'm calling them today, the Bauer feet. So the Bauer feet, you know what I'm saying? Because they're all feet. They're all part of the feet tribe, the foot tribe. So it's just crazy to see that, she could be this upset about somebody leaving a voicemail. What did she expect people were going to say to her when she didn't go out and look for her grandchild, right? That she ain't shown no effort. Beverly, and then, she shows no love.
Foot. Check this out. Distractions. A pet cat. Again, I asked, what is the difference in his content than mine? The only difference is you're questioning the Proudfoot and replaying them, and I'm questioning Seth Rogers. We are no different. Now, sorry, I missed a lot of you. Wow.
Child.
His only child that he saw 4
That
times
is
a month.
flawed, just like you and I.
Yeah. Well, some are flawed more than others. Notice he goes into his ass kiss routine after Nick comes in.
I don't think he's guilty. Well, then why the hell are you giving him a hard time?
Now I think he's guilty. How about that? Does that sound better? Now I think there might be a point and what other people are saying, because I cannot understand how they think it is okay to threaten people, especially those who are boots on the ground, like Mama 3 is saying. What are you trying to prevent? His own words being played? Right. Seth himself says he is a suspect. Why do you all negate everything he says? Exactly, Wolf Rider. And that's what we're calling out. Because I think it's a bigger picture. I think it's a bigger picture that either side of the parents are ever going to tell us. That's what I think's going on. Here I have it. Christine. Right. They just say, it don't make any sense, Casey. So yeah, Justin had a few questions. How could you? Well, this is how. The same way you can magically ignore all these red flags, I can point them out. That's the only difference between us. You do on one hand, I do on the other. What you do to the Proudfoots, I do to Seth. We're no different. I'm so tired of you people thinking you're different or you're not, nah. The only difference is you all sit there and you accuse them of committing a crime. We don't. I don't. Now, talking about crimes. What a crime. But no. Justin's on the right side of history, and he's just blatantly blaming people, So that's better. So whatever. So up until the other day, no, I was very adamant that I didn't believe Seth Rogers was involved, but now I'm sincerely questioning things, deeply questioning things, because the behaviors are not justifiable. I've never seen any other missing child's case have a father do and say the things that Seth Rogers has, which we're going to finish that as well. We're going to go ahead and we're going to finish what we were playing the other day that was so rudely interrupted, because I will continue to follow fair use and go over the interviews of the parents of Sebastian's. Right. They just say, it don't make any sense, Casey. So yeah, Justin had a few questions. I do appreciate that. She does, Betty Crocker, but they don't see that. They only see, Big Bad Granny or who has how many numbers in their chat. Go do you, boo. If you can do it so much better than everybody, and you are so much better than everybody, like I said the other day, it doesn't matter if you take this approach with it or this approach with it. At the end of the day, we are all exploiting the same situation. Some might like to coddle and say, oh no. Some might fall for the bullshit. How many excuses were given? And I'm going to go on and say this too. The people closest, they also saw what we all saw. They just won't admit it. But in a few months when they fall out with you, they certainly will. They certainly will admit it then. You wouldn't need that many excuses until it was, unless you were lying. You wouldn't. And it wasn't until the chat was like, oh, well, maybe you were tired. Yeah, that's it. I was tired. But that night, as it was happening, it was repeatedly stated that she wasn't tired. Thank you, Louise. I'm over it. I'm so over it. It's fitting, Gary, because I'm just the devil herself. It doesn't matter how much I try to be nice. It doesn't matter how much I try to, see things from all perspectives. It doesn't matter, that I was blamed for all of it. Oh, no, don't you respond. Don't you respond, Granny, because then you're the bad one. Fucking over it, man. I'm so over it, honestly. It's like a conversation rather than bringing up mistakes from years ago. Oh, and then it was made a mockery of. So let me play this, because some of you didn't see this, right? We're talking about anybody asked for receipts. Let me give some receipts really quick. I just gave a receipt that leaving any child to suffer from insomnia, undiagnosed or untreated for months and
I think he calls Edgar Luigi. I can see that. I can see it. I don't know about you, but I can see Edgar being a Luigi. I also think I can see him being this, with his tidy whities on, or this. Just my opinion. We got Sookie.
Oh, suck it now. Oh, suck it now. Oh, suck it now.
I think it's more of Fred Flintstone and Wilma. Just my opinion, Fred Flintstone and Wilma. You got Fred Flintstone, short, chubby, big caveman size, 15 at her feet? Oh, you wish. And then you got Wilma, the redhead, right? And wait a second. Hold on. Fred Flintstone ran a crane, didn't he? I'm dead. Fred Flintstone did a crane. Oh my God. Yes. That was Fred's job. I told you. Fred and Wilma Flintstone, and he rides a damn crane. It was meant to be. Yes, Lisa. I told you. Oh my God. Fred and Wilma Flintstone. I knew it. I gotta start doing more Fred stuff. I blew my own mind. The Brontosaurus crane. Yes. But that's true. Pebbles was not abused.
His son was supposed to go live with him. And Seth, honestly, aside from Sebastian, Seth is a fat, lazy fuck who wants to do nothing but nothing. Chris Proudfoot is a narcissistic fat fuck, and Katie is just a codependent. So, yeah. And with the reward money that's out there, you don't think a prisoner would have said something already? Hell, fuck yeah. I'm almost ready to call.
He's making fun of disabilities when he just did that. We all know when we talk that way, like, what that is. You're making fun of disabilities. People said that's what Chris did when he came out using that goofy voice when he was trying to just be silly. But here he is literally going, is that how you responded to your child, Seth Rogers? Is this how you treated Sebastian? Is this why it was punishment to go live with you? Listen to that again.
You need to go home, boy. This is out of your league.
Is it? Because if I recall, I'm the one that's...
Yeah, is it? Because if I recall, I didn't ask you to respond. I told you to get off the panel, boy. This is my son, not yours. My son, not yours. My son. This is Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. I named him. I named him Sebastian. I named him Drake. I named him Wayne. I named him Rogers. That's my last name. Take your Trevor Lee.
Did you hear what Trevor Lee said? Of course you did, because his mother was underage. Yeah, call me daddy. Call me daddy. I do know.
Sebastian is, I think he's gone. I think something happened. I think, you know what I think it is? I think Chris came home. He either soiled himself, he didn't do something, or Chris didn't want to deal with him and he got angry and something ensued. And it sounds like Chris probably, the markings on his arms look like he was holding something this way. So I have to think, around the neck or something like that. And he just didn't realize what he was doing. Like I said, most of these things, when things like this happen, they don't mean for them to happen. They just, they lose control of themselves in a rage. And when you're enraged, you can do just about anything.
Yeah. Okay, but it's okay for the dad to search, but not the mom and stepdad. It seems like
obviously they're suspects. They don't want them probably searching. I would want them searching.
No, but I wouldn't
what
want
if they're
them
going out
leaving.
right? What if they're out there compromising evidence? You don't know that.
Yeah, but with them leaving, we don't know where Sebastian is. How do we know they're not doing that right now?
That is very true.
Sebastian is, I think he's gone. I think something happened. I think, you know what I think it is? I think Chris came home. He either soiled himself, he didn't do something, or Chris didn't want to deal with him and he got angry and something ensued. And it sounds like Chris probably, I mean, the markings on his arms look like he was holding something this way. So I have to think, you know, around the neck or something like that. And he just didn't realize what he was doing. Like I said, most of these things, when things like this happen, they don't mean for them to happen. They just, they lose control of themselves in a rage. And when you're enraged, you can do just about anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they think that people can believe that child went out and started walking or anything, that poor boy's feet would be all cut up and scratched and everything. I don't think he's got out there.
Do you know who his been scratched? His stepfather.
Yeah, I mean, he don't like to walk on hardly anything because he's afraid, you know, when if he goes over rocks, his feet would be cut.
Trip to the school, and now we have scratches all up and down his arms. That's it. I'm done. And then you go and tell me that you can't leave your house to go search, but you can leave your house to go have barbecue. I have a problem with that. Then you tell us that law enforcement, don't be mad, law enforcement telling us to stay here. And the minute that you get to leave, you actually freaking leave. You leave a 15-year-old autistic missing son behind, and you just tell that boy to kick rocks. You don't give a shit about him or where he's at or what happened to him. These are actions of guilty people. I don't care what anybody says. Beat me up. I'm not saying they're guilty. They're possible when I said that, you know, but then that would imply that whatever happened, Sebastian's mom did it. You see what I'm saying? Like, if Chris rushed home at that time of night, he didn't rush home to go and off this kid. He rushed home because something happened in that home, and Katie's calling him screaming, "Oh, Crypt Keepers, it's nice to see you." The more I'm sick. If Sebastian was hurt in that house, that happened right under our noses, and no one realized it. That's disgusting. The idea that the Proudfoots hurt that child in the house in our neighborhood causes all of us a great deal of pain and unsettling. I meet with a few of our those people scare me. Okay, when you can do that to your own son and just not even help him, just a mother freaking ran away from her son, her missing son. She got up and left her freaking missing son. You got Riley Strain's mother on the streets of YouTube and TikTok. You guys can be sending your leads too, but we cannot let these Proudfoots out of our sight. We don't know what they're up to. We don't know what they're going to go and money with. We don't know if they're going to be messing with evidence. We don't know if they're going to be moving Sebastian. We don't know what they are, but we know they're capable of just about anything at this point. And at this point, I'm going to say they need to be monitored. You're thinking, if this is his ending, what do we not know about? What do we not know about? You know, are we going to have like Madeline Soto 2.0, not to that extent, but just the abuse aspect? Like 2.0, where we find out that Chris has been abusing him for a really long time, and mom just willingly sat by and turned a blind cheek to it. I mean, is that what we're going to be dealing with in this situation? I don't think SA. I'm just talking about just the physical, you know, type that leads to premature deaths of teenagers. You know, I don't know. But I don't want to hear nothing from the Proudfoots. You know how your family, you know how Chris is. You know Chris better than any of us. You know that man. You know he can't keep a relationship. You know he's been violent in the past. You've watched him while he's been drunk. You know his behaviors. You know, and you're sitting silently by and doing jack shit while this boy is out there somewhere and needs to come home.
Man does? What are you gonna sit down and make him watch Mortal Kombat? Is that what a man does? Does a man threaten a 5-year-old little boy that he's gonna bust his ass and then sit him down to watch Mortal Kombat at 5 years old, an autistic child? Is that what a man does? Is that what a real man does?
What
are you doing? What are you?
Those people scare me. Okay, when you can do that to your own son and just not even help him, just a mother freaking ran away from her son, her missing son. She got up and left her freaking missing son. You got Riley Strain's mother on the streets of YouTube and TikTok. You guys can be sending your leads too, but we cannot let these Proudfoots out of our sight. We don't know what they're up to. We don't know what they're going to go and money with. We don't know if they're going to be messing with evidence. We don't know if they're going to be moving Sebastian. We don't know what they are, but we know they're capable of just about anything at this point. And at this point, I'm going to say they need to be monitored. You're thinking, if this is his ending, what do we not know about? What do we not know about? You know, are we going to have like Madeline Soto 2.0, not to that extent, but just the abuse aspect? Like 2.0, where we find out that Chris has been abusing him for a really long time, and mom just willingly sat by and turned a blind cheek to it. I mean, is that what we're going to be dealing with in this situation? I don't think SA. I'm just talking about just the physical, you know, type that leads to premature deaths of teenagers. You know, I don't know, but I don't want to hear nothing from the Proudfoots. You know how your family, you know how Chris is. You know Chris better than any of us. You know that man. You know he can't keep a relationship. You know he's been violent in the past. You've watched him while he's been drunk. You know his behaviors. You know, and you're sitting silently by and doing jack shit while this boy is out there somewhere and needs to come home. But you know, how would that affect Chris and Katie's lifestyle? Because he is disabled, so they got to be getting some funds for the disability. Seth is a proud father and loves his son and very much involved in his son's life. So I have to assume that there are some types of child support related expenses he has for his son. So they're going to be losing all of that income. Plus, they're most likely going to have to start paying child support on Sebastian themselves. And with Chris's elevated income, you know, it is based on the household income. Would they have had to pay Seth more money than Seth had to pay them? You know, and how much of this would have rocked their personal finances? So, frankly, when you have flag behavioral issues that I'm seeing with this family that we really see only with a certain type of person, and it's usually equated to a guilty person. And so this is their behavior, not coming out of their home, isolating, not being part of the search efforts, not posting flyers, not showing emotions, seeming as if you already know the outcome. And then when things get tough, running off with your tail between your legs like cowards. While that's true, those behaviors that she was talking about went far beyond a control freak. You're talking about a man that's power hungry, a man that wants you to know how powerful he is, and you better never cross him. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those types of situations where he, like she said, he didn't even want Faith. And then because she didn't want him anymore, he was going to take Faith from her and put together and orchestrated this elaborate scheme to do it because he didn't want to have to pay her child support, which is one of the reasons why he most likely didn't want to have the child in the first place. He seems like a very self-absorbed center of attention type of person, which would explain why he's always having to speak for somebody else.
Katie's a suspect. So there has to be some, if they're not, like the
Look at
internet's
him.
saying, if Katie and Chris don't got nothing to do with this, then there's another answer to what's going on.
Look at that. He's
You
just,
know, or
There'd be another answer.
there'd be another answer.
Now,
That man, I want to take a poll in here. I just want ones and twos. And we're going to get inside Seth's mind, okay? We're not, his feet are on the ground. They've been on the ground. He's working to try to find answers. Where is Chris and Katie? I have been asking this for a solid month. Where are they? Because outside of interviews, I see them doing SWAT to find their son. SWAT. All they want to do is pony themselves up in front of media to make them have the appearance that they're doing something when they're doing SWAT to help. SWAT. Where is Katie and Chris? Hey, Katie and Chris. Here, let me give you an idea. Let's not worry about work, right? We have a missing child. A missing child that's been missing for a month. I'm sorry, the last thing I'm worried about is finances. Take everything from me. Take it all. Give me my son back. That's what you should be saying. That's what all of you should be saying. Why don't you guys learn from Seth? Be a Seth. Stepfather has scratches on him. The stepfather is the only one that has this top secret timeline that law enforcement doesn't want anybody knowing about. And then we find out that you've had discussions about discipline with the other side of the family, and they had agreed to no corporal punishment. And you find out that CPS was involved with your son and his stepfather because he hit him with a belt, corporal punishment, what you guys agreed would never happen. And then you're finding out about this when your son is missing. These things, seem able to put receipts to those lies and showing that they're lies. And that I don't like. Why is a parent, a step-parent, or anybody lying when they have a missing child? And not just lying, but lying about critical details, but lying. So far, it's been a month and this boy hasn't been found. Meanwhile, the stepmom or the stepfather and the bio mom haven't really been participating in any searches. They haven't posted any flyers that anybody could see. They haven't really come out of their house at all, which tells me that there's a hint of shame and guilt there. I don't control it. So how is she so controlled? How is the mother of this missing 15-year-old boy so controlled with her emotions? I cried at Quentin's. Yeah, but I don't, if I recall correctly, I don't think I cried on camera. But as far as Katie and Chris, no, definitely not them. Definitely not them. They need to come clean. None of us believe their crap. I don't think any of us believe their crap. But there's a lot of stuff that people look at and make something out of nothing. Like this whole thing that somebody assumed that because he's away, that somebody assumed that she's having an affair on him. This guy looks like an ultra abusive man that's very controlling of his wife. I see his wife probably more terrified to even look at another guy, let alone speaking to them. So if he got off Smiley's World, and when he was on Smiley's World, he said that he had the DCS action. What it was is his attorney told him nobody's going to be able to get that information about you. Do not acknowledge that because that is covered under every single. This child was a CPS. We have no information on that. We have all you'll be able to see is that there is a case open, and what probably happened is they were met with DCS. It didn't rise to a DCS case because they were trying to analyze it whether they needed to open a case or they opened a case but closed it immediately. And so far, it didn't trigger anything behind the scenes. It doesn't mean that CPS wasn't called. It doesn't mean he didn't have to talk to them. But he had just said that he had to talk to them and had to deal with all of that. And then all of a sudden, on Nancy Grace, he talks about how he talked to his attorney, and then all of a sudden, I only have one DCS case. So
weekend. So he's like it's what they call a Disneyland dad. They get him every other weekend, and they can pretty much do whatever. They take him to do this, they take him to do that. They're the fun parent. They're the parent that takes them to go to Disneyland. They can take them to the amusement parks. They can take them for ice cream. They can have cake when they wake up for breakfast. They can do whatever they want to do because they only have them every other weekend. Mom has to be doctor, therapist, babysitter, mother, mom, dad, grandma, like they play multiple roles. They have to be the disciplinary. They don't get to take them to go have fun and go do all that stuff because they have to do everyday stuff, homework. They have to be the disciplinary. They have to, do showers and bath time and take them to the doctor and, be the one that does everything with them. And then you get this dad that comes along every other weekend and the kid just loves them because they take them to go do cool things. And they don't discipline. They don't ever yell at them. They don't ever get in trouble because they're not around. They're not around them very much. So,
yeah. I don't know.
You're taking a polygraph for your fucking 15-year-old child that's missing, and you're telling me that you're going to sit there and fall asleep?
Right.
Get the fuck out of here. I can't.
And I've been on pain meds before.
We were going at nighttime, but it sure as hell wasn't last night.
I broke my kneecap in like a bazillion pieces one time, and I was on really strong pain meds, and because they couldn't get me into surgery for the whole weekend. But I was in so much pain, and the doctor explained this to me, that because they told me that they could tell how much pain I was in by how I was reacting to the pain meds, because I never take pain meds and they actually make me sick, but they weren't affecting me. Like, they weren't making me high because I had so
You were
much
in
pain.
so much pain. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were giving me the exact amount that I was supposed to get because they weren't making me high. And they
Yeah.
said they could tell how bad a pain I was in just by that. And so, yeah, I mean, if you're really getting high from the pain meds they're giving you, you're taking too much.
Yeah. And that would be the nodding in and out and shit, and going doing half falling asleep and whatever else that bullshit.
Right, because I don't think he's been out searching recently because he's been
No, and he
talking about
wasn't searching where the police were searching either. They were searching in their own fucking spots.
right.
Fucking times unless you're nodding the fuck in and out like goddamn heroin. You know what I'm saying? Come
Well,
on.
it's all the medicine he's on for his shoulder.
Well, if he's that sleepy, then he shouldn't be out driving or out walking, out searching,
Right.
none of that.
Exactly. He's on that gabapentin.
But I mean, since when does that make you fucking fall asleep sitting up? I mean, really?
Yeah. I don't know if he's on anything else. I mean, they might have him on muscle relaxers or something else too. Well, besides that, I don't know. All I know is I've heard him say he was on gabapentin, so I can say for a fact he's on that. But anything else, I don't know. I haven't heard him say anything,
Yeah, I don't know.
and I don't want to tell untruths,
Yeah, I'm not buying it. I'm just really not buying it.
Well, when I've heard him on the Pascal show, and then there was that one time he called into Dolly, I think it was a week or two ago. I don't know. It's all running into each other. But anyways, I heard that when he called in, he sounded like he was drugged, like he was high.
Yeah, then you need to.
I'm not saying he was, but that's what he sounded like.
Because that's about fucking ridiculous. That is about fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
You take a poly.
I am behaving myself. I am behaving myself. He is thriving and enjoying himself. This is the most female attention he has likely had in a very long time. I am behaving myself. They said, after he flirts with her, I'm tired of you looking at me in that tone of voice. They say, we would like for you to be in the middle, walking across the bridge. And he says, I bet you would. They do an awkward laugh. And he turns around. He says, I am behaving myself.
Right behind. Don't yell at me. I'm tired of you looking at me in that tone of voice.
Are you?
No, not really.
I would really love for you to be in the middle.
I bet you would.
Yes, we do.
I am behaving myself.
Can we say awkward? I am behaving myself.
Don't want that shit. Mate, I believe. Call me what you will, Seffy Poo. You ain't been able to get me to shut up since I don't know when. May, I believe.
March.
March.
April, something like that.
You ain't gonna shut this big bitch up. All 289 pounds of I hate her.
I'll talk to the parole officer when they call me. I have no problem telling them about all this. I might even send them this link because there's so many receipts in this live, but there's no way they know about all of it. I don't know. I could be wrong, but it's crazy. I mean, how could a parole officer who signed off on anything, even if there was written stuff given, you have this guy making these posts.
You want to know what's funny as hell to me?
What's that?
When I think about that name, Chris took you a hoe. I bet I could convince Katie to fuck me before she'd fuck him again. Put that in your corncob pipe and smoke it, fatty.
You got to end this thing. You're getting way off the rails now.
She get wild.
That's like you want to find him alive, correct?
Oh, he's alive.
And these details matter, in that sense that how can we help him, or how can,
Hold on, Ginger. Honey, let me help you out, okay? I do have a potty mouth, and I don't give a fuck. You want to know why I don't care? Because it gets rid of fucking troll idiots like yourself. And having the hots for Seth, I'm sorry. Let me get this loud so I can make sure you hear me. When I pick a guy, I want to be able to suck his dick without moving his fat ass stomach out of the way first. Bruh.
People who are out.
If you, on God, and don't take this anywhere, okay? This is being used as an example, okay? Don't go running with it, people like Ginger. But if you were my baby daddy, I would straight up kick you right in the baby maker. For real. Actually, what I would probably do is be a real nasty bitch, and I would pretend I wanted to make up with you. Meet me around the back of the building. I want that thing, and I swear I'd bite it right off. Just mm-hmm.
Gotcha. On that, get the fuck. So something big happened tonight.
First off, you overgrown titty baby, okay? I've been listening to this BS all day, and my gloves, bitch, they're off. Clean hands, okay? And I'm ready to go. This big-ass titty baby is the reason they don't want to work or do anything with your egotistical punk ass. You want to talk about putting your egos to the side, but that's only when it accounts and is on someone else to do. Chris Proudfoot came to you, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes.
Oh my God.
Sorry about that. Chris Proudfoot came to you, man to baby, okay? Not man to man. He wasn't talking to a fucking man. He was talking to a fucking coward, in my opinion. He comes to you, and he says, let me tell you something, America. Look into my eyes, okay? If you want to see what a two-faced and no good sorry sack of shit looks like, look right here on the screen on your right-hand side. Because I'm trying to tell you, this is twice now, dude. Twice, homie. You probably don't like me because I can cut through bullshit like soft fucking butter. You know what I think? I think your punk ass is scared of Chris. That's what I think. Honest engine. I think you're fucking scared of him. He took your girl, and now in public, he's taking your fucking manhood. Because you didn't have the ball sack to sit there to his face and say, I don't want to work with y'all. Did you? No, you didn't. You said okay. But then again this morning, woke up and did the complete opposite. I don't know about y'all, but where I come from, in my life, that's what I call a pussy. It says CP's stance is a little intimidating. Y'all wouldn't make it here. The only person who would be intimidated with this stance right here is a bitch. Somebody whose daddy didn't tell him how to take them nuts and roll through life with them sitting on your fucking shoulder. Like, because I know where you live, bro. Into every single thing that I thought you were done. It's about to get sad.
Time you turn a corner.
And I mean to go back, and I'm going to go back and listen to every single thing he has done. I want to hear him say one time something negative about the Proud Feets and how much money they got. Because I know where you live, bro.